Hello, it's me and Leo. So, boy, this chair is squeaky. I went, last week I came back, but the weekend before that, I went with a group of people from my church and a couple other places to Louisiana, to the state of Louisiana, and worked with the Cajun Army, which I have the t-shirt on that they gave me. They also gave me a hat, but I didn't bring that in here. And the Cajun Army is an organization that does hurricane relief. Essentially, they do demolition. So, yeah, they have a website if you want to check them out. It's a pretty cool organization. Basically, if you have a group of people that wants to work with them, as long as you get there, they will house you, feed you, and take you to the work site and provide everything that you need for the work. So I went with a group of people down there to do just that. And I was expecting, hard work, of course, because these were hurricane damaged homes and they need to be gutted, taken all the way down to the studs, things removed, because in that climate, mold sets in very quickly. So we went. I worked very hard. It was hot, which I loved. And and there were some things that, I expected it to affect me emotionally, because when you're going into a home that's been destroyed and you have to remove all of someone's earthly belongings and put them in the trash, and their life basically on the side of the road for a big truck to come pick up, there's obviously going to be some emotional things to that. And when you arrive and the homeowner is there. Now, I did some, when I was in high school and a little bit after high school, I did some work with a cleaning company, and we did fire and water restoration. But generally, when we did that, the homeowner was never there. So there wasn't really, it was very impersonal then. It was just work. But this was different because the homeowner was there. And to see the devastation of somebody's home. And we did 2 homes, and they were both elderly people, both widows. And they essentially, there would have been no way for them to do this on their own or pay for a company to do it for them. So that's where the Cajun Army steps in. They have a screening process to decide whose homes get done. But what did I learn from this? It felt really good to do it, of course, because, when you do good for other people, it feels good. And that is kind of the motivation that gets you to do things sometimes. It's because it's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel like you did something productive. You didn't just spend all your time thinking about yourself. But I had some moments and some, times where God was speaking to me in it. And it was really interesting, because when you take all the things out of these people's homes, you just put it in the ditch line by the road, and then this big claw truck comes and takes it. And a lot of times, well, in the first case, everything that was in this home had to be put in this ditch line. And as I was looking at that huge pile of drywall and clothing and items from the house and everything you can possibly imagine that would be contained in an elderly man's house, including, the clothing from his wife who had passed away a few years ago, and seeing, his sadness and feeling his sadness, knowing that his wife's clothes, even though she'd been gone for a while, were going to be taken away. It was difficult. and seeing that pile and, almost wanting to go through it and pull things back out. But, the mold, you can't. And what God spoke to me in that was, when you come to me, daughter, and ask me to remove things from you, and I take them, and I release you from them, don't go back digging through that pile, looking for things from your past to make yourself comfortable, knowing that I've taken them from you because they were not good for you. So deciding that I need to go digging through the pile of my past, looking for the familiar feelings of guilt, the familiar feelings of shame, the feelings that I'm not good enough, that I'm not acceptable, that I am created broken, those things feel familiar. And I want to go back in that rubbish pile of moldy, gross stuff that he's taken and pull them back out and put them back on because they were comfortable, The second thing that I learned or heard from this was the second lady that we went to her house. And let me tell you, like older Southern women, at least the few that I met in this time, are the sweetest women I have ever met. I have never been called baby so many times in my life. It was just great. And that Southern accent is just the most beautiful thing. And I am not going to try to imitate it, but not for you anyway. I have for my family and they laugh at me. But yeah, those older Southern women are so sweet. So sweet. The thing that she kept saying is, I'm so sorry that I couldn't handle this on my own. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that it would get this bad. I'm sorry you had to travel all this way just to help me when I really thought I could handle it on my own. And that really broke my heart, because how many times do we take something that God wants to help us with, that he wants to send other people from near, from far, to help us with, and we just think, I can handle this on my own. And then it gets to a point where I didn't know it would get this bad. And yeah. So the things, and right now I can't think of an example, but the things that you need help with, and I'm not talking about the physical things, I'm talking about things in here, and some physical things like that you need to lay at the feet of Jesus and leave them in the ditch line, stop picking them back up. Things that you've been delivered from, things that you have been saved from. Just stop trying to handle it on our own. And just keep, almost daily, keep laying that down. Keep laying down the desire for control. Keep laying down this is how I react when someone does this to me, and this is how I handle this situation. When we know we can't handle it on our own. And just let God take it and let him handle it, whether that's through other people or just through our own dying to what we think is the right way to go. And yeah, so those were the things that I learned. I also learned a lot about critters in the South. The kind of critters that come into your house when it's in that state, and just critters that live around there. And it was just really interesting, and different dialects and food, and it was really a cool thing. And yeah, I really enjoyed my 3 days of work while I was there. I love hard work, and it really spoke to my heart as well. Just the need for more workers, not in just the physical realm, because, these people, we did go in and help them with their house, but we also, everyone did sat with them, listened to them, talked with them, cried with them, prayed with them. And it was good. And it wasn't just, it's so funny because, you hear it all the time. Like when you go and bless someone, you end up being blessed more than they are. And I can say that was true because what I heard in my spirit, what God spoke to me through this, leave that yucky stuff from your past in the ditch line and let the claw truck take it, and stop digging through the rubble, trying to find something to make yourself comfortable when all you need is me. And stop trying to handle it yourself, because you don't know how bad it's going to get if you do that. Because just like mold, if you let it go, it's going to grow and grow and grow. And then you got a big mess. A big mess. I don't know how to conclude this, so if you want to do some good work and you're looking for, if you live in the United States and you're looking for, I won't say easy because it was hard work, but you're looking for a little mission trip or work trip or something that you can go and do that's local and not easy. It's not easy, but yeah, check out the Cajun Army. It's pretty cool. Very, very cool. Bless you guys. Live and love as the way you were created.